poundworld. I'd make the joke about everything weighing £1 there, but that's had its day by now. What I will do though is go straight into the review with this. And knock everything off at the same time. There we go. Can you guess who that is? Yes, it's that bloke from the Avengers and various prison sentences which are well behind him now. But in general, that's quite a nice looking image, and it's an official product as well. You've got the Marvel logo right there, you've got the Avengers logo in the bottom left, and pretty much nothing else on the back. Just if you look really carefully, you can see the image of pretty much what Tony Stark must be looking at most of the time, except for all the screens that he's probably got, all the holograms and whatnot. Although if you were to hold it right up to your face, this could conceivably be used as the basis of a mask. You know, you could probably cut it open yourself and put it on to something to create your own quite interesting, or not interesting at all, Iron Man mask. And as this only costs about £1, well, who knows. Cut those out, put in a vent for your mouth so you got something to breathe through, and you're free, you're high and dry. Now you might remember the last time I did this, I went off to Poundworld, I picked up some hilariously positioned dinosaurs and I thought that could be only a one-off, that can't possibly be deliberate. It's a conga line, isn't it? Please tell me it's a conga line. Yeah, again, hilariously out of proportions dinosaurs, out of proportion to each other, because again, that should be one of the biggest things on the planet. Those two look like they're roughly the right size. That I'm assuming is therefore a baby version of, I'm assuming a Triceratops, but I could have sworn Triceratops are generally depicted a bit differently, but never mind. Yeah, again, it looks fairly cheap, you know, cheap and hollow. You can see the lines where there shouldn't really be lines. It's basically two different halves of the same thing have just been glued together, presumably quite well. This little one here is a bit more solid, although it does look, if I keep squeezing, it's going to fall apart. I don't particularly want to see a dinosaur torn in half like that, or squeezed in half. Now there's something I've been wondering about more recently, it's trying to share music. Well, actually no, that's a complete lie. What I have been thinking about more recently is trying to find ways of extending the lead on the microphone I have on here to the devices, because the lead I get on this Rode Pro is very short, probably about the same length as this. So I've been looking around at getting extension cords. I have now got one, okay, but that's not from Poundworld, so it's not appropriate for this kind of review. But here I have a 2-in-1 adapter, which I thought might be hilarious to actually look at, because you can connect two sets of earphones to one player so both can enjoy the music, instead of the old days where somebody would have something like a boombox or a ghetto blaster and they would just be playing the music as loudly as they could in a public place as confined as, say, a bus or a train or something like that. Of course, nowadays the speakers on a lot of phones are loud enough to do exactly the same, maybe not quite as loudly, but still loudly enough to irritate everybody. And that's not even when it's broadcasting on a, you know, on a, what's a term? Oh, the term's lost me, it's left me. I've lost the term, and my mouth has now gone into overdrive on gibberish. Yeah, what is the term I'm thinking of? Speakerphone type settings, yes. If you've got your phone set on just a normal, everyday standards, it can be so loud, if you've got it cranked up to max, that you could actually be broadcasting your music as loudly as you like, for your own enjoyment, supposedly, but irritating everybody else within a 5-mile radius. Just wear some bloody headphones, and for Christ's sake, don't have it too loud, because you're gonna fucking rupture your eardrums. That said, this idea here requires 3 things. First of all, it requires 2 sets of headphones, for which you have these jacks here for them to be plugged in. Standard 3.5mm adapters, which is something which Apple is apparently still wanting to get rid of on the latest or the next version of their phones. I don't really know or care, because I don't have anything to do with Apple products. because I don't like them. But then I decided I've got to have some way of testing this. So I went and bought this, and that just bounced off the dinosaurs. Thank you, dinosaurs. Skull earphones. Yeah. That's looking good. Let's just see if there's anything. Warning, never use earphones while driving or cycling. While cycling I can understand, but not while driving. It can also be dangerous to use earphones while walking if the volume is too loud. So, yeah, and then there's a bit of information about preventing hearing damage. No, the thing is, I'm pretty sure by this point in time, everybody and their dog is aware of the dangers of playing your music too loud. But of course, I think the majority of people who do know this by now just don't care. Oh my god, that is really cheap and nasty. It's just basically some plastic bits with cheap blue baubles just sort of added on, and the autofocus just doesn't want to know about it whatsoever. Let's move it a little bit. I don't think the autofocus is really going to work too well here, but it basically just looks like a couple of Terminators that have possibly turned good guys because they've got blue rather than red eyes, and blue is always a good colour, I think. That's why Luke Skywalker's lightsaber was blue. The same lightsaber that his dad used to murder all those children. Yeah, never mind, moving on. So we've got this bit here. Will it actually connect properly? Oh, it's actually a bit longer. Yeah, that's a bit... Is that the same? Yes, it is. I just took one look at them and it just, for some reason, this wound up looking smaller than this one. Never mind, we'll just leave this connected up like so. And then we'll look at the next set that I bought, which is Lug Premium Over-the-Ears Earphones. And for some reason I get a picture of somebody wearing a completely different picture, or, well, a completely different set altogether. I mean, couldn't you have just photoshopped those on instead, or, you know, hired a model to actually wear them for you? Or is there some reason that, you haven't hired somebody? Oh, and look, it's exactly the same instructions. Never use headphones while driving or cycling, etc. Can also be dangerous to use headphones while walking if the volume is too loud. Those are exactly the same instructions as on this. Even the preventing hearing damage is exactly the same. The only real difference is that this goes into more detail. Maximum power input 60 megawatts, frequency range 20 to 20,000 hertz. Yada yada yada. Jack 3.5mm. Length of cord 1.2 meter. 1.2 meter? Yeah, 1.2 meter approximate. What the hell, let's just get this thing open so that we can... My god. Yeah, the packaging seems to be fairly resilient. Let's just see if we can take the sticky tape off here instead. Yeah, I was just going to try to tear off this little bit of plastic here, but it turns out it's more or less indestructible. Oh, and that's a lid. Right. That's what I get for not paying attention to things, because I just don't really care. Right, so these are the over the lug hole type things, which is why they're called lugs. That's just very flimsy plastic, and it has to be because obviously at the end of the day, it is meant to go over the contours of your ear. Quite a good length of cord there. Does that actually fit in here? Yes, it does. Now, do these actually fit over the ears properly? I'm pretty sure they do. They don't actually seem to have any kind of... Usually most headphones that I've seen will have something on them to tell you if it's meant for the left or the right. Neither of these do. I can kind of understand with these not having that kind of instructions on, because it's quite obvious one goes over the right, one goes over the left. These, on the other hand, they're so cheap that they just don't tell you that. So, okay, so I'll just give those a quick test for wearing purposes. This basically is the right and this is the left. So, okay. Actually, I just thought I could see some writing there, but it's actually just discoloration on the plastic there. So this basically goes into your hole here, this goes around the back, and vice versa. So this is the right, this is the left. And they are actually quite comfortable to wear. I haven't actually tried them while playing any music yet. One reason is, of course, I don't actually have anything on my phone to play. But what I'm going to do, if I go into YouTube on my phone, and if it will actually allow me to look at my own videos, 195 videos, my god. And even then that's not up to date because it's not showing the day 2 of the 22 push-ups challenge here. Let's just give that a refresh. It's going a bit slow today. There we go. 197 videos, my god, I've managed to produce more content with just this flick of a flick of a wrist. Right, as you can see there's an upload going on in progress at the moment. That's still got about 3/4 of an hour to go on the computer. Let's see, which one of these has some music on it. Now if you're wondering what I'm doing here, this is basically a way of reviewing your own videos, your own materials, without actually falsifying your view count, basically, okay? What I do here will not count towards the total views that I have. And this is my 22 push-up challenge day 2 video. I'm got to record day 3 at some point later on today, because today is day 3. The video hasn't actually loaded up properly just yet. The screen's going dark. There we go. Oh, I really should have unfastened this a bit to free things a bit. I need to do the same with the other. But I'll just listen to this, my own voice played back to me, because I have music playing in the background on pretty much all my videos. I'll just unfasten these while I'm doing it. Now I'm listening to the music, the quality seems to be okay so far, yeah, it's actually giving me a warning about high volume for a long time may damage your hearing. And it even gives a little bit of warning here, so as you can see, blue is safe, orangey isn't. And I've got to be honest, the sound quality isn't actually bad at all. I'm mostly hearing my own voice, but as I start doing the push-ups, the music's going to come into its own. Da-da, 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 da-da. Okay, so as far as the looks are concerned, they're quite nice. Okay, they do the job quite nicely. Now I'm just going to take those out, and they feel really comfortable as well, that you don't feel like they're going to fall off at any point. Now as for the skulls, first problem is the cable is so short, I'm going to have to do this so it can actually fit into around my chin and whatnot. Now these are actually a lot louder. I haven't altered the volume whatsoever, but my voice, I'm actually speaking louder to hear myself because they are literally so loud. So, I'm going to turn this down because I am literally starting to deafen myself there. So yeah, this splitter does do quite a good job there. It is, I mean, these are incredibly loud compared to these. I mean, I had to turn these up to get used to them, so as a safety precaution, these are probably going to be healthier to use and not do the damage to your ears that others would. Yeah, they are definitely a lot quieter, softer recording. So it depends on what you're looking for in that regard. Long term, obviously I can't speak for the quality of either long term because I've literally just opened them up. But if you're wanting something that's loud, then yeah, go with this. If you're wanting something that's a bit more practical and that'll still play the music and stay in place more easily, because I kind of get the feeling that these will come out eventually at some point. Then you know, if you want something that's not going to deafen you and stay on, get these. These on the other hand, they're nice and loud, which is exactly what you probably want if you're really, really loving your music, but you're probably still going to be able to pay attention to what's going on with these. Personal choice, obviously, and obviously as it's coming through on a splitter, yeah, that's wonderful quality. So yeah, get a splitter, share your music with a good friend, okay, somebody you're close to. You know, there's all kinds of possibilities there. If you want to try to maybe make love in the most precarious position ever, you know, listen to the same music as each other at the same time in the most intimate way possible, then this is one possibility. Oh, the things that come to mind sometimes. Right, I'm off for a cold shower after that rather disturbing bout of thought. I'll see you all when I see you next time. Bye-bye.